Let's go 3 for 3. So yesterday was Revenges, the other day was Jewel Knights. So today will be the Muusketeer's premium deck set. The Muusketeers belong from the Neon Nectar clan, which in standard language it falls under Stoicheia. So this should be interesting because I previously built a Muusketeer deck years ago, and the playstyle of mainly I think I can summarize it simply by saying Royal Paladins, Shadow Paladins and the Muusketeers, they play almost similar in a way that they superior call their allies very frequent. However, the Royal Paladins gain strength in numbers. The Shadow Paladins, they do gain strength in numbers, but they devour their allies to get powers. Whereas the Muusketeers, the superior call, basically the Muusketeers, it's kind of a both. They superior call their allies, and then they, how do I put it, they devour their allies as well. So it's a bit of a both if you look in that sense. So here's the, I guess the storage box itself. I have to say the Cecilia one is kind of underwhelming, because like when we had both Raging Form Dragon and Salome, it gives out that really nice design feeling, but this one, I don't know. Ooh, tight. I take back whatever I said. All I can say is tight. It's tight. Let me see if I can just adjust the camera a little bit. Okay, there we go. So yeah, Cecilia. Well, based on its original version, she retires a rearguard and superior call 2 more Muusketeers. I think. So just like the rest of the premium deck set, it comes with a full-size deck box and a deck. I mean, do I need to go in detail? I mean, just for the sake of being courteous. Ta-da! Deck box. Wow, it's as if we haven't seen 100 of these in it. What's important is this, the deck. So what does it contain and how does it hold up? Based on frequent Neo Nectar players, apparently the reception is good, but not as good as Revenges, because there's a G unit for this deck that can be played up with massive amount of combos and would in a way make the board rather gigantic. I mean, your board of units gigantic in attacks, and probably something that's very overwhelming. So let's start off first with the boss unit, the White Lily Muusketeer Cecilia. It's a limit break for a unit, and yeah, again, like most limit break 4 abilities, requires this card to be on the Vanguard circle. So what does it do? Counterblast 1, put 5 normal units with Muusketeer in their card names from the drop zone to the bottom of the deck in any order. Search your deck up to 2 copies of White Lily Muusketeer Cecilia from, and then call them to the rearguard circle. So it's a Persona superior call, kind of okay, but let's see its second ability. Yeah, both abilities are once per turn. Retire a rearguard with Muusketeer in its name. Look at top 5 cards of your deck and choose up to 1. Oh, my mistake, I thought it's 2. Choose up to 1 card with Muusketeer in its name, and then superior call it to the rearguard circle and shuffle the deck. So pretty mid. However, there must be some viable combos from this, because I never built Cecilia before. I think I built the one with the generation break. It flew past by my brain right now, so I can't really remember. So yeah, a playset of Cecilia, and then next, ooh, combo play. Never mind. The Thorn Lily Muusketeer Cecilia reverse. Cecilia actually got a reverse unit when it comes to V premium, because back then the Neo Nectar reverse unit was actually Venus Flytrap reverse, which was okay at the very least. But this, let's see what it does. So 13k base as opposed to being 11k base. First skill, one attack, counter blast 1, retire 2 rear guards and look at the top 5 cards of your deck and choose up to 2 unit cards from them and super call to the rear guard circle. So from here you can see this thing will allow you to attack 5 whole times. Now its second ability, it can either be activated on the Vanguard circle or on your front row rear guard circle. Once per turn, at the end of the battle, your rear guard with Cecilia attacks. My goodness, reading is definitely hard. At the end of the battle, your rear guard with Cecilia in its card name was placed from the deck this turn. Attack grade 3 or attack a grade 3 or grade 2 Vanguard. Counter blast 1, lock 2 rear guards, stand the unit that attacked. Your front row, and if your front row has a lock card, bind it instead of restanding it, and then write that card onto your Vanguard circle. Write that card on your Vanguard with Muusketeer's name as stand. Ooh. I can see the limitless potential with this. Most likely IDA, you combo with this alone, which by itself is quite nice. On place and you get an imaginary gift, or B, I mean, I'm just throwing a ball out. I'm just throwing my ball into the hat. Play 2 copies of this thing and 2 copies of the V premium version of Cecilia. That should be more viable in that POV. But again, it's really good because it allows your Vanguard to do an additional attack, and I think you can spam. Yeah, because it's only limited to once per turn for this card. It didn't mention that this ability can only be used once per turn by the same card name. So you can virtually abuse this. I mean, say if you're lucky enough to, I think your Vanguard should be able to do like, I'm just doing my math for a bit. Probably about twice more. So Vanguard attacks 3 times. Let me see the costing properly. On place, oh, lock 2 rear guard. So assuming Vanguard attack, then rear guard, lock 2, superior right, and then attack. Let's just say I get 2 more Cecilias. So on attack, 1, 2. So yeah, technically the Vanguard can attack 3 whole times. Alright, so enough with the delays. Next up, the Legion Mate. Oh, not the Legion Mate version. Oh, okay, even better. Puny Muusketeer Martina. 2 skills. Skill number 1 is a main phase skill. Soul Blast 1, retire a rear guard. Check the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose a card among them and call it to the rear guard circle. Pretty okay. Could have been better if it's not once per turn. Second skill. During the turn, this unit was placed from the deck. This unit gets plus 5k and 1 crit. Oh, okay. It's a rear guard centric. It's a rear guard centric card. Nice. So I guess that's why it's centered. It's played with the limit break version of Cecilia. I guess so. Next is the, let me see, Licorice Muusketeer Vera. What does it do? Main phase ability on first skill. Counter blast 1, retire 2 rear guards, choose 2 cards from your drop zone, put it to the bottom of your deck in any order. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 unit cards among them and call them to the rear guard circle. If you call 2 Musketeers with, if you call two cards with Musketeers in the card names, this unit gets plus drive plus 1, so it's a triple drive unit. And skill number 2 on Vanguard circle. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater and your front row has a Licorice Muusketeer Soul, all your front row rear guards gets the power of this unit gets the power this unit had gotten from trigger effects. Only power, not effects. So sadly no to criticals, but this should be viable enough as a secondary Vanguard. Love it. The Pansy Muusketeer Sylvia on place on the Vanguard rear guard circle. You can call yourself a plant token to the rear guard circle. So I mean, initially the Musketeers are known to superior call themselves, but as a V premium, they've been experimenting with various builds of black token. Yeah. I mean, not complaining, but it's a bit uniquely odd. Here we are. Puny Muusketeer Torre, the Legion mate for this thing, if this was the Legion mate version. On place on the Vanguard rearguard circle, counterblast 1, retire a rearguard. Check the top 3 cards. Choose 2 cards with Muusketeer in the card name, or anyone from among them. Call them to the rearguard circle and put the rest into the bottom of the deck in any order. So again, this archetype filters a lot. I mean, not even exaggerating it. It filters like a lot of cards from your deck. So chances of you pulling a trigger easier is better, because in the game of Vanguard, your entire hand, your damage zone, your deck are resources. You would like to avoid drawing unnecessarily to avoid deck out. I mean, that's on the matter. Next, the Licorice Muusketeer Soul, on place on the Vanguard or rearguard circle. If you have Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard with Muusketeer in its card name, Soul Blast 1, retire a rearguard. Check the top 3 cards from your deck. Choose up to 1 unit card from among them. Call it to the rearguard circle and put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. If you call a trigger unit, counter blast 1, active that. Ooh, over trigger. That's all I can think of. Over trigger. Screw that. You can virtually abuse an over trigger. All you need left is to find a Stoichia or Neo Nectar card that allows you to return a card from the rearguard circle to the bottom of the deck. You're set for life. Or better yet, swap out any of these with the Legion mate version. Call that over trigger to the rearguard circle and then dump it to the drop zone, and then use the Legion effect to return it back to the deck. Yo, that is sick. That is sick, mate. That is sick. Water Lily Muusketeer Ruth. What does it do? On place on the Vanguard circle, call up to 1 plant token to the rearguard circle. If your opponent is a grade 1 or greater, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 1 or greater, call 2 tokens instead of 1. And then when this unit when this unit or your other unit is placed on the rearguard circle from your deck, retire this unit and counter charge 1. The second skill is only applicable when it's on the rearguard circle. And what idiot would actually retire their own Vanguard? That's crazy. As a counter charger, I guess it's pretty okay. I mean, it provides you with tokens, because if you notice, most Muusketeer abilities requires you to retire your own rearguard. So it has its ups and downs. Okay, here we are. The Dandelion Muusketeer Merca, what does it do? On place in the Vanguard or rearguard circle, Soul Blast 1, call a plant token and the same column as this unit. And when your other unit is placed on the rearguard in the same column as this unit gets plus 3k. So it's an 11k attacker or booster, depending on how you look at it. I would definitely replace this card, because to me it's just a 1-to-1, where you call this and you get another rearguard. And wait a minute, I think I might have to retract what I said. Yo, you can spam the power up. It's not once per turn. Wait, let me read this correctly. It's not once per turn. Okay, take back whatever I said. This thing can be spammed. This thing can be spammed. This thing can be spammed. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. McDonald's, yo. Okay. The Anthurium Muusketeer Gaston. During your turn, if this unit was placed from the deck, okay, it's an 18k booster or attacker if you call it from the deck, which again would play well with either Cecilia's or any of the Superior Call engines. I don't want to say too much praises to it, because again, it's limited to calling from the deck, so you gotta constantly return it. But this though, I'm gonna do some homework after this. I'm gonna find some cards that allow me to return your rearguard to the bottom of your deck, or probably I'm just gonna hunt down the Legion mate version. that should be it. Now, trigger lineup, over trigger. So if you can make the connection, yeah, this works. This bloody works. Okay. Next, critical trigger. It does the same as the one with the Jewel Knight and Revengers. Generation break 1 on attack, on Vanguard attack. Put this unit into your soul from the rearguard circle. Draw 1 card and your Vanguard gets plus 10k. Nothing new, nothing old, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Next, same thing. It's a critical trigger that allows you to strike. When you pay cost for the strike, this can be regarded as a grade 3, so yay. I mean, it's a premium deck set, so a premium deck needs to have this thing if you want to strike. Unless you're the kind of player who plays premium deck without any strikes, then that's a different story. Draw Sentinels, just like the Jewel Knights and the Revenger, nothing new. I mean, you know, on place on the Regard Circle, discard one card from your hand and then nullify the attack. It's been done a lot. Grade 3 heal triggers, so same thing. I mean, if you didn't write a grade 3 or grade 2 in during this game, you get to activate either A, grant 10k to your Vanguard until the end of the turn when it's placed on the Guardian Circle, or B, when placed on the Guardian Circle, choose one of your opponent's unit and it gets minus 2 crits. And as well, self damage dealer if your damage has 2 or less. Sorry, yeah, if your damage zone has 2 or less cards. So yeah. Oh, sorry, if your damage zone has no cards, 2 or less. What the hell's wrong with me? So that's the main deck, and of course the obligatory Elementary Sanctitude. It's a must need card for any premium deck, just because you wanna protect yourself. You want to completely protect yourself against G unit attacks. So here's the main deck. Like it, love it. I'm having quite a number of mixed feelings because I never played Musketeers in V Premium, though I did play Musketeers in the G era and original era, so I get the gist on how it's played. For V era, it's completely a new ballpark for me. So yeah, y'all better let me know in the comment section how would you tackle this deck. And now let's move on to the G deck. I mean the G zone and extra zone. Fee-fi-fo-fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be living or be dead. I'll grind his bones to mix my bread. Let your child experience the first-hand thrill of playing as Jack and other memorable characters in the Jack and the Beanstalk Speech and Drama Holiday Program this coming school holiday. Further information are on this poster and in the description box of this video. Blubricks, building skills for life. G deck, I mean G zone plus extra cards. Let's go. Harmonix Messiah, 2 videos in already, so this is the 3rd one. You all should know what it does, but in case if you're new to the channel or started watching this video, well, let's try to be as summarized as I can. When placed on the Vanguard Circle, if you have any lock cards, unlock any number of them and then discard cards from your hand based on the number of cards you unlocked. This works well if you're up against Link Jokers, those bastards. And then next, in the G zone, how do you put it? If your damage zone has 2 or less cards and you didn't put any new cards into your damage zone, you can put the top card of your deck and draw 1 card. So this works well if you need the damage zones to cards in your damage zone for counter blasting, and of course up against opponents who damage deny you early game. That helps as well. And last but not least, if you go second, reveal this card from your G zone and you get yourself a Guardian Shield ticket. It's a 20k shield, pretty good, and still highly sought after for this thing because it's very much a staple card. Let's put it to that. Here we are. This Cecilia's Evolution, Maiden Lily Musketeer Captain Virginal Cecilia. Am I reading this correctly? Huh. That sounds wrong. Virginal Cecilia. Anyway, second skill from the G zone. If your Vanguard grade 3, okay, it works just like Raging Rap Dragon and Evangeline. If your Vanguard is the prior form of this with the limit break, you can discard cards equal to grade 3, stride it from the G zone face down, and if you haven't gotten any imaginary gifts yet, you get to obtain 2 imaginary gifts force. So very helpful, this thing, very helpful. Third skill, once per turn, counter +1, turn up a card with the same name from the G zone face up, and choose up to 5 of your rear guards and retire them. Check the top 7 cards and then choose up to the same number of cards with Musketeers in the card name as the number of units you retired during your turn for the effect. and then call them to the rearguard circle. They get plus 3k until end of the turn for each face-up card with Muusketeer in its name. Oh wow, this sucks. This really probably play it with the Cecilia crest might work, but let's have a look at that later on. Of course, you get the fourth copy in a triple R fall, so don't you worry about that. Next is the Flower Princess of Compassion, Ladislava. Second skill, main phase skill. Just discard one card from your hand, choose one of your rearguards and search your deck up to 2 cards with the same name as that rearguard. Reveal them, choose up to 1 card among them and put them into their hand, and call the rest to the rearguard circle and shuffle. So essentially you get to filter out 2 cards from your deck. That's pretty good. Third skill, on attack, counterblast 1. If you have 2 or more rearguards with the same name, choose two cards among them and choose 2 cards from among them and step. Wow, 5 attacks. Where do I sign up? I'm trying to think how can I combo this, because I noticed in terms of offensive powers, the main deck doesn't provide much. Probably I might change my idea during gameplay. However, from where I look at it, it's rather challenging, so to speak. Okay, next, the reprinted card where everybody was expecting to be reprinted, but you know, it'll take forever for it to appear itself. The Untainted Holy Damsel, Green Katrina. On place to the Vanguard circle, turn a card from the G zone face up. Call up to the same number of plant tokens as the number of cards in your G zone to the rearguard circle, and all your plant tokens get plus 10k until end of turn. On attack, search your deck up to the same number of cards as your plant tokens and call them to the rearguard circle. I guess pretty much explains why this deck has some plant token support. So Mirka would actually work. Probably. Again, I gotta play this deck first to understand how it works, because I'm just looking at it from a neutral point of view and objectively, because in the end of the day, when I play this deck, or any deck in that fact, I gotta figure out how can I achieve its intended goal, its intended purposes, which in the game of Vanguard, you want to deal 6 damage to your opponent. How will this help me to deal 6 damage to my opponent easily? Moving on. Hey, another Cecilia, White Lily Muusketeer Captain Cecilia. The second skill, main field skill, once per turn, counter plus 1, retire 2 rearguards with Muusketeer in its card name. If you have a hard card with Cecilia in its name, check the top 5 cards of your deck, choose 3 cards with Muusketeer and call. It's essentially a filter 3. Potentially filter 3. Then again, your deck runs 100% Muusketeer, so it is a filter 3. I think if I were to improve this deck, I gotta improve on its offensive capabilities, because they super recall a lot, but they don't hit hard yet. Oh, 2 copies of Captain Cecilia. That's pretty good. Next is the Flower Princess of Candor, Lindros Premier. Second skill. Oh, it's the Generation Break 8. On attack, retire 3 normal units. Return 3 normal units from your drop zone to your deck. Choose 1 unit and search your deck up to 3 cards with the same name. Call them, and the units called by this effect gets plus 10k until end of turn. And then so call basically a filter 3 with power up, but it's a bit too late in the game, so I'm unsure if this works. Next is the Entrancing Flower Princess Sardine. Its second skill activates from the G zone. If this card is face down and your opponent's Vanguard is great or greater, counter blast 1, retire 2 plant tokens, strike. Oh wow. Okay, this is what I call rush. Okay, gets plus 10k 1 crit. Sign me up. If you're playing a rush strategy, yeah, this works. At least it's only one copy. So G Guardian, what you get? Wait, let the camera focus. Flower Princess of Cherry, Costerina. It's a Generation Break 1 G Guardian. On place, counter plus 1, turn a G Guardian from your G zone face up. Until the end of the battle, this unit gets plus 5k. Choose up to one card from your hand, call it to the rearguard circle. If you have 2 or more units with the same name as the unit called, this unit gets plus 10k. So essentially you're getting a 30k shield from this G Guardian alone. Pretty huge. However, you need to set up your hand size, not your board. Sorry, you got to set up both your hand size and board to make sure that you can benefit the bonus 10k. Otherwise, it's just a 20k shield. Next is Bond Protector Musketeer Antero. On place on the Guardian Circle, Soul Blast 1 until end of the battle. This unit gets plus 5k, and if the number of rearguard is 1 or less, or 4 or more, another 15k. So a 35k shield. Bigger, better, works both ways. Oh, what? Your board is empty? You got a huge ass shield. Oh, what? Your board is full of units? You still got a big ass shield. Next up is the Flower Princess of Dedication, Robertina. On place on the Guardian Circle, choose a total up to 2 normal units with the same card name from your rearguard or drop zone, and put them to the bottom of the deck in any order. If you put 2 cards, counter charge, and then it's a 30k shield with counter charging. I mean, I'd rather reserve my counter charge during my main phase, not during battle phase. But maybe there are some cards that will benefit. Okay, I don't see it. I don't see any cards that can benefit from battle phase counter charging. Rain Breath Dragon. Let's see. Choose one card from your hand and call it to the rearguard circle, and it gets resist until the end of the turn. If you call the card, this gets plus. There's a 20k shield and grants a card that you call resist. Probably would be a good card if the card you call requires defensive maneuverability during the turn it's called. Colburn, same thing. Discard 1 card, gets plus 5k for every 2 cards on your opponent's hand. Helpful if your opponent is the kind of... most premium players are capable of building up huge hand sizes, so should be less of an issue. Let me just see how long is the resist. Oh, just until end of that turn, okay. Quick shield ticket. As seen from the previous video, it's just a 5k shield if you go second. Guardian shield ticket is a 20k shield if you go second, provided you have Harmonix Messiah in your G zone. Next is the Force marker. This being Force 1, and then this being Force 2, and then here we are, the card I'm waiting for, the Cecilia Crest. If your HUD is White Lily Musketeer Cecilia with Limit Break 4, the maiden Lily Musketeer Captain Virginal Cecilia on your Vanguard Circle gets all the original abilities of the main deck Cecilia with Limit Break 4, and an additional ability. When your White Lily Musketeer Cecilia is placed on the rearguard circle from your deck, draw 1 card and that unit gets plus 10k. I guess how to pilot this deck is, how do you put it, multiple ways. Either A, you focus on playing Cecilia reverse, or B, you try to cycle through base form Cecilia as much as you can. That's one way you can look at it. But if it were me, I would, since I noticed that some cards will grant power-ups, then Force 2 would be my choice of battle. Next ability of this crest. All the original power of your grade 3 cards with Limit Break 4 becomes 13k. Okay, that's cool. And then yes, just like the rest, you can activate your Limit Break 4 even if you have 3 or less cards. So that's that. Rest are just plant tokens. Not much things to speak or show further. And then the final 3 cards are just your triple rare copy of Virginal Cecilia, your triple rare copies of your Force markers. That's all. So, to me, Musketeers is still a new Musketeer Premium is still a new field for me. I'm unfamiliar with its playstyle and its combos, but should I modify this deck, I gotta add in more offensive powers, because this is worrying me, because the filter is there, but the attacking power, I do not see it yet. I'm not gonna say I cannot see it. I'm just gonna boldly say I do not see it yet. Again, probably when I upload my playtest video next week, it should click onto my brain. So As always, thanks again for spending your time watching all 3 of my videos. I appreciate it. If you want to play premium format Vanguard, it's every Saturday at 5 PM. I give you wrong info, sorry. It's every Saturday at 5 PM. And yeah, premium format. So the format is still live and there are people playing it. So if you'd like to join us, I'll share a link in the description box. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye y'all.